My name is NonStopAntonio, and I've been watching Naruto for the very first time, and we've been talking about it per arc. So this time we're going to be diving into the Chunin exams. However, it's such a long arc, we're going to be splitting it up into 3 different sections, just so it's a little bit more digestible and we can talk about it a little bit easier. So what we're going to do first is that this video will cover the first exam, and then the second exam in the Forest of Death. The second video will go over the prelims and all the awesome fights from that. And then the third video, I think, should be able to cover the training with Jiraya and the tournament before the arc abruptly ends. And that video will also include my final thoughts of the arc. So let's jump into the first section of the Chunin exams from Naruto. Welcome to NonStopAntonio, where I talk about everything nerdy. I love Marvel, DC, and anime, and if you do too, I hope you enjoy this video. I love how the Chunin exam started off, introducing us to all the characters that are going to be in it, and also Naruto managing to make all of them targets by saying that he's going to win the exam. I also like before they went into the exams, and Naruto made them all targets, how we got introduced to Rock Lee, and how he fought Sasuke. Now, both Naruto and Sasuke learned stuff from Rock Lee that they both used later on during the Chunin exams, but I like how Rock Lee comes in and just confesses his love for Sakura. It's a funny moment, I really like the character, and I grew to love him a lot more by the end of this arc. And the first exam was also very interesting, because it's like, oh, it's a test. But I love how everyone thought that they were supposed to cheat without getting caught, and it was to show that they were true ninjas, avoiding detection and being able to pass the test. And I love how Naruto's sitting there freaking out because he's not good at tests, and Hinata passes him the test to like copy, and he's like, no, you're trying to trick me. He is so oblivious to everything during this arc with Hinata, and I love it. It's so funny. And I love how they're all trying to figure out how they're gonna pass. Sakura and Sasuke know that if Naruto doesn't pass this written test, they're screwed. However, in the end, it turns out just to be a psychological test that they just had to survive the time limit without getting disqualified. Which was just a fun twist on what the exam was supposed to be. And it was just psychological torture to make people give up, which I thought was an interesting way to do the first test. But because it was really quick, it's easy to dive in to the second exam for the Forest of Death, which had a lot of interesting moments during it, especially with Orochimaru. I thought it was interesting that they have 5 days to survive in this forest, and you have to get 2 scrolls, Earth Scroll and a Heaven Scroll, and you only start with 1, which you're sending all these kids into an exam with a bunch of killers who are not worried about, just taking someone out to take their scroll, but somehow all the main kids survive. And I just love how Naruto gets separated from Sasuke and Sakura. So Sasuke says they need to come up with a plan to avoid people from pretending to be one of them so they don't get their scroll taken. And I love how Sasuke makes the password, tells Naruto, but then when he asks for the password, Naruto gets it right. He throws his kunai at Naruto because he knows Naruto wouldn't remember the password. And I love Sakura's just shocked because she's like, he got it right. But the explanation for not knowing it is he wouldn't remember it. Yeah, that's Naruto. I love it. And Naruto getting swallowed by the snake during this part of the exam too was insane, because I was like, holy shit. No, I mean, he's gonna live. He's the main character, but I'm like, holy shit, what just happened to Naruto? And then he uses the Shadow Clone Jutsu just to pop out and explode it, which I'm like, yeah, that's one way to do it. I thought he was gonna do something else, like the Nine-Tailed Fox Chakra was gonna come out, but using the Shadow Clone Jutsu just to explode it like a balloon, yeah, that works. The whole part of the meeting Orochimaru was it was intense, because you really think that something really bad is about to happen, because when Sasuke and Sakura first run in to the ninja that is Orochimaru, it looks like they're from the village hidden in the grass. But it's not the case, because Orochimaru just took the dude's face, which was freaky enough. And he even made them see their own death, which was pretty intense. I love how Sasuke's smart about it and just stabs himself in the leg so that he doesn't get stuck in fear. And then Naruto comes in for the rescue because, Naruto likes to make an entrance, just like how Sasuke does by the end of the arc. And the first fight with Orochimaru was intense because you got Naruto getting another seal put on him for the Nine-Tailed Fox Chakra, and then him not being able to fight, and then Sasuke getting the curse mark. I thought something else was happening to him. I thought he got poisoned, but later we find out there's a curse mark on him now, which also leads to a cool moment very soon. But in reality, I'm surprised that both Sasuke and Naruto got taken out so quickly into the Forest of Death, because they just got taken out right away, and Sakura was left to defend herself, which Sakura hasn't really done anything since we started the show. So finally getting to the Chunin exam, where she finally gets some time to shine, was nice. I love how Rock Lee comes in, because he's a real G, comes in to save Sakura, and he protects her at all costs. Like, the dude's fighting like no tomorrow, and he's using his forbidden jutsu, and it sucks that he lost in the end. He was able to kick some ass, but the Sound Ninja's moves are pretty interesting, how they didn't even have to touch him to injure him just because of how sound waves work, which, hey, was cool. And I love how this whole fight got all the other characters involved, and a bunch of them kept coming in to help. And even Sakura, she's taking a beating during this. She's self-doubting herself. She's not confident. and she really brings herself down. But when she's able to bring herself back up so that she can fight, she kind of realizes, she snaps out of it, and she cuts her own hair so she can get ready to fight. And I really like how they did that, because again, Sakura hasn't done much, so it's cool to see her actually doing something. But she just keeps getting knocked around though, because she's not the strongest, but hey, at least she tried, right? And I love how Ino comes in to help her, because they were friends at one point in time, but they're rivals now, but they were good friends. And Ino still steps in to take care of her friend, which I don't know, I really liked the moment. And like, the one thing I really liked about the arc was how we kept looking into everyone's pasts, and we'll get to it as we continue on through talking about it, but I really liked seeing how Ino and Sakura became friends too. It was just like very good moments, showing these characters getting better and better. And one of the parts about this fight that I really liked too is how Choji got involved in the fight. I really like Choji, he's hilarious, and I love how the sound ninjas call him Fatty. So then he gets all pissed off, uses his jutsu. I was not expecting him to turn into a giant ball and then roll over. That was just hilarious, because they called him Fatty, and then he made himself bigger, and it was just a fun moment. And every time he gets into a fight, it's always because they call him a fatty, and then he has to go in, which is just hilarious. And I also like learning about Shikamaru as well, because when he comes in, he has a shadow possession jutsu, which I thought was pretty cool. And he's able to catch one of them off guard. But then we find out the sound ninjas don't actually care about each other. They're willing to sacrifice one of their own to complete their goals, which is to get Sasuke, which I thought was really interesting until Sasuke woke up all hellish and looking like he's got a freaking demon within him. Because when Sasuke first woke up, I didn't realize the curse mark was doing that to him. So I was like, what the hell is going on with Sasuke? Has Sasuke had a demon put in him just like Naruto? Is that what's really going on? Because Sasuke kept seeing his family and realizing he needs to become an Avenger to avenge his family that was killed. And I thought it was a hardcore mode of him going full rage, because he looked evil. And then when he went up to Zaku, I thought he was gonna kill him, not snap his arms in the end, which was a shocking moment. I thought he was gonna brutally kill Zaku there. However, he didn't. And I love seeing Sakura embrace him and saying it's gonna be okay and calming him down, because it really shows how much she cares for Sasuke. Because like, realistically, anyone who sees Sasuke in that rage mode probably wouldn't have went up to him and tried to calm him down. They probably would have stayed away fearing for their life, but not Sakura. She actually went up to help. And I love how after the sound ninjas realize they're outnumbered and they leave, Naruto wakes up with no recollection of what just happened. But after he wakes up, they have to finish the exam, of course, because they're not done yet. And I like how we met Kabuto, because he seemed like a nice dude from the very beginning of the exam, and then later he helps them complete the exam. He seemed like a genuinely good dude. He's helping them fight the ninjas. He stopped them from opening their scroll and getting knocked out. He helps them fight the trio of ninjas who are trying to take them out, and they have a cool moment together. And I really thought he was gonna be a good dude. He helped them pass the second exam, and then we find out he's working with Orochimaru. Freaking Orochimaru. Like, god damn. Are you kidding me? I was like, this guy's cool. This guy doesn't seem that bad. And then he turns out to be a bad guy. I don't trust anyone anymore. And if it seems too good to be true, you're probably a bad guy. That's what I'm learning now. Thanks, Naruto. You're giving me more trust issues than I already had. I also like during the exam, we see more about Gaara and how freaking dangerous he is. Because Gaara is powerful. Just absolutely crush ninjas without a problem and killing them without hesitation because he is bloodthirsty. But later, we do find out he also has a demon within him. Well, a sand spirit. We'll talk about more in the third video, because that's where we'll break that down a little bit more, because I have a lot to say about that as well. Gaara's team also completed the exam in 97 minutes, which was the fastest ever, which was 4 hours before, because he is so brutal, he can just kill anyone. No one can attack him because his sand protects him. Pretty insane. The first 2 parts of the Chunin exam were really interesting, mostly because the Forest of Death had some really great moments, and the beginning with the written test was just really fun, with a bunch of fun moments. It went from like more fun, less serious, to holy shit, what's going on? And I totally thought Naruto was gonna fail at some point, and then they were gonna do something to get him back into the exams, or something wasn't gonna work out for our main characters. Of course, stuff didn't, like Orochimaru put on the curse mark on Sasuke, and also put another seal on Naruto. Like, that stuff, that bad stuff happened, but I thought something more about failing the exam would happen. But they did introduce Orochimaru, the sound ninjas, and all these bad guys that are running around. The Chunin exams were great. Next video, we're going to be talking about the prelims, and I honestly have probably a lot more to say about the prelims than I did the first 2 parts, especially because all the fights were good, and we got to talk about some of those, because I actually really like the moments, specifically Rock Lee versus Gaara. So we'll get into that in the next video. If you like this video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, helps out a lot. Let me know what you thought about the Chunin exams. Could be any part. I've already finished it, so I don't mind talking about it in this video. We're just breaking it up to make it a little easier to follow. Make sure you stay tuned for the next parts of the video, which I will release a week after this. So thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you later.